Hey everybody, welcome back to Rail Route. Hope you're having a great day today. So today's mission is to get the routing sensor. I want to redesign most of the rail network. I think there's a lot of stuff all over the place, and I really want to redesign it. So if we can get to the routing sensor, I can do some really good work in redesign that will allow me to simplify tracks, which means getting refunds for a lot of other tracks that I don't need. And we can have a much more sophisticated network that is also less expensive and more efficient to run. So part of that process is getting to 25. We're at 20. And 15 of them are so far on time this cycle. But we need to get to 25, okay? And now I want to check out something else as well. Yeah, we're at 21 on train, 21 on-time trains. I want to check out my money situation because the money says is 27,000 right now, but there's a maintenance fee, if you will, that goes through this stuff. There's maintenance that goes with your money. And what you'll end up having, if I let this run for a little bit, you're going to notice my money will disappear very quickly. So 29,000 is what I've got now, but now I've got negative 23,000. All right, so there is a maintenance that happens, okay? And if you don't stick, if you don't have an efficient network and your trains are waiting around, then they're not earning you money, and then that's when you end up going bankrupt. Now, we quickly get back into positive territory, but there's a maintenance every hour, basically. And we quickly get back into positive territory, so it's not that big of a deal. It takes about 10 minutes or so-ish, yeah. Now we're right back out of it. And I believe the next maintenance cycle then would be, well, it's on the next cycle, right? The next maintenance would be the next cycle. So every cycle is an hour long. So what we want to do is we really want to make this not have a bunch of trains basically that are held up. You don't want to have a lot of trains that are stopping. You want to earn the maximum you can for every train. And some of these guys, right, these ones here that have multiple legs in the trains, they're kind of holding me up. So I need to look at addressing that. To get the routing sensor, I need more trains, just 4 more per hour. So there's opportunities somewhere in here to get me that. And I'm looking at things like Landover here, Brentwood, Columbia, Landover. Seems like a pretty straightforward thing to me. And it's a pretty straightforward route. We already have everything in place to do that. And all we need to do is say Columbia, yes, to Landover. And it'll go to 4 and then pass right through. Everything seems really fine with what I'm looking at there. So let's go ahead and start that. I need to check really quick on this sensor because it's been a little bit since I've done this. So also, I think I don't think I can fix the problem. I'm going to word it that way. I don't think I can fix the problem with the conflict that's happening with the shunting sensor and the stabling sensors here. Okay, these two tools, where is it? Stabling sensor. This enqueues pre-configured shunting commands to the train's shunting queue once the train completes its current leg and the eventual transfer of the next leg start. So what's happening here is I'm having regional trains come through here, and those trains meet the requirements for this sensor to kick in. Because this sensor is kicking in, it's making them back into the station, which is what I wanted them to do. I want them to back into the station. But the problem with backing into the station here is that how I'm going to describe this is I don't actually know that this is how this works. So if you're listening to me now and I'm stuttering my words, yep, it's because it's 2:45 a.m. I'd love to go to bed, but I have to get work done. This is how it works in my life right now until my daughter grows up. What I have here, I think, is happening is that the train's shunting queue kind of works in a sort of a read or write state. That's how I'll describe it. So, for example, the train comes in, it hits the sensor. The sensor says, yes, you qualify. The shunting mode on the train is off. You can tell that by clicking the train, and this button is not lit up. So toggle shunting mode. When the shunting mode is off, commands can be written into it. Once you write commands into it, it turns shunting mode on, and you have commands in there. But once shunting mode is on, no new commands can be written into the train, right? So it's an either read or write state is what I'm thinking. So the conflict here is that when the train is told to turn around, shunting mode is on. It's executing its commands, and it pulls into the station. And I think what's happening is the stabling sensor is trying to write the shunting commands before shunting mode is completed over here and turns off. So shunting mode needs to turn off, then the stabling sensor needs to write to it, and that turns it back on. But I think if stabling mode is still on, shunting mode is still on, when the stabling sensor tries to write it, it won't actually write. It's in read only. I think what's happening here is shunting mode is turning off just after stabling sensor is trying to write to it. And that's why our multi-leg trains are not automatically getting them written anymore. So this one here is a prime example. We'll look at this train and we'll study this train as a way to test my theory here, okay? So this train comes in. You'll notice this button is not lit up. But when it hits the sensor, it will light up because it's got commands written into it. All right, now stabling mode is on. All right? It cannot have any more commands written into it right now. What I think is happening is this train is going to pull into the station, and the commands from the stabling sensor are going to try to get written to it, and that isn't getting written to it in time. It's shutting this off just after this sensor's trying to write to it. That's what I think is happening. I don't know that that's the case, though. It sounded like a computer coding thing, and I don't know how that works. So if you know how to make these two tools work together, I would love to know, because right now this train is not going to get the commands from this written into it. It isn't going to work, even though it has the next leg in its origin point as DuPont. Okay, so if you look at it, the next one is DuPont followed by Benning, and that is exactly what the rules say that this thing is supposed to be written. It's forward facing, it's facing the signal, and it's got DuPont as its next stop, and Benning is the next leg direction. Okay? That's how that works. All right? It should execute these commands, but it won't do it. And as it pulls forward, it will stop right here with no commands in it. Right? So if you know how to make that work, I would love to talk to you. Okay? Otherwise, I have to do this manually every time. Okay. Let's talk about how we're going to get to our routing sensor finally. I'm off topic. I know. It's one of those things where, like, I don't want to record this late at night where I'm not, like, completely sane. I just have to or I won't get it done. Let's talk about Crystal City and Braddock Road. We have 64,000, and in about a half an hour, we're going to lose a lot of this money because of the maintenance, but at the moment, we have 64,000. So let's go ahead and activate Braddock Road. We're going to activate both stations on Braddock Road, because this is where trains can come into our map. It's going to enter on one side and leave on the other, right? Then we're going to grab Crystal City is fine. We'll grab this one. We want an automatic signal here and an automatic signal here. These are both places where trains will originate and leave. So that's important to do. Okay, next, we're going to want to make our track. This is just like the beginning of the game. Yep. Does it look familiar to you? It really should. Okay, next, we're going to have another signal right here. And we'll put the relay right there. Okay, good. We have the relay to go that side. Very good. And then the last thing we're going to need to buy to make this whole thing work is the destination sensors. The sensors where the stations can tell them to go. Yeah. What I need to do in order to get contracts, though, is I need conductor offices. We're going to put one right here. And I'm also going to put one right here. That's going to give me contract possibilities on both of these stations. Double the possibility that we get what we want, because these stations will generate contracts that are not what I want necessarily. Perfect. This is exactly what I want. I want you to go that way. I want that to happen. Okay. Now at the moment, the route calls for 35 kilometers per hour, right? Which we can totally accommodate right now. No problem. I would love to have these go faster so that I can have more of them. But for now, because we're short on cash, that's what we're going to do. All right. So, and then there's a Braddock to DuPont. I don't want that. We're going to cancel that. So we're going to have you go this way, okay? This train is going to be able to handle it just like the beginning of the game did. No problem. And while we have this thing going, we're going to also keep an eye on trains that are, you know, doing these regional trains here. We got to keep an eye on those. And then I'm going to wait until after our next maintenance cycle. Yep, here's another one. Good. And so we have another train. Let's go ahead and do that. Comes right in. Perfect. And this is how we're going to kind of cheat a little bit. I don't really think it's cheating because like this is totally a mechanic and it's built into the game. You can have separate networks all you want. But this is, I'm hoping, going to push us over that mark to where we can at least unlock tier 3 and we can get better trains. Sorry, better signals. All right, so this is going to be good. I'm not going to bother with new contracts at the moment, although I could. I definitely could right now. Yep, I could get it in here. Starts at 1, leaves at 2. Same exact contract. Bring it in. There we go. Okay, now this thing here is not going to get its shunting commands. I have to pay attention to the station. Also, what's honking at me right now? What's honking at me? What are you doing? Why are you... Hold on, stop. What are you doing right now? Other than just like going to Columbia, that's what you should be doing. Why is this not active though? It should totally be active. Why was that not active? And you're going to Columbia too. I know, but this guy's got to move. Why? Why is he not moving? To Columbia. Yeah, get out of here. The signal is clear. Unless you're... No, you're totally going... I'm so lost on why that train's not moving. This one here needs its shunting commands put in, so we're gonna go like this, 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 this. Yep, that. Get out of the way. Yep, and you get out of the way. I don't know what's happening with this train. It makes no sense. It's supposed to go to Columbia a long ass time ago, and it just never did. It's just stopping here. What is this? All right, I'm gonna cancel your route. I have no idea what this train is doing. I'm canceling this route. Just please leave. Like, please freaking leave is what I want you to do. Are you trying to go this way? Are you trying to leave this direction? You can go that way if you want to. What the hell are you doing? You were supposed to be going to Columbia. I'm so lost on what that train is doing. Well, it's out of here now. The contract's canceled now. I'm not dealing with it anymore. Go this way. All right. So, again, I have to watch these trains appear as well, just to make sure. So that's debt. It's all right. We're fine. Let's make sure we're doing this. Yep. Bring the train in. All right. Yep. You're waiting. I get it. Anyone else waiting? No? We're good. Okay. Yeah, I know that's late. We're gonna redo these trains. Don't worry. I'm gonna, once I have money, we'll definitely do it. This does not have multiple legs. Anybody that has multiple legs, that's what I'm on about right now. I just have to keep a track of multiple legs. Not Benning, no. No regional trains right now, or no intercity trains right now. Nothing from Brentwood, although that would be kind of interesting, wouldn't it? But no Brentwood. We're just going to keep it simple right here. Just keep doing this over and over again until we can get these sensors right here. I'm going to go ahead and install them now. So this one, departure sensor, that's what they're called. I can remember things sometimes. Go there for Crystal City. Okay, good. So at least now they'll depart without me having to queue it. All right, perfect. Go ahead and allow that. And we want another one. Let's cancel this one. Let's cancel this one. Automatic scheduling is going to be awesome later. That's a thing you can do. The game will basically automate the scheduling process. It will automate the contracts and stuff. So if you're getting contracts for a certain route, it will go ahead and get it for you. So it's right here. Structural contracts manager, financial contracts manager, regional contracts manager. Yeah, these managers here, they'll help automate that process. So I'm hoping now that we see up towards 23. So we're almost to 25 is where we need to be. Just need a few more trains on the track running through here to make it happen. So we got 23 last cycle. So it's keeping track of us this cycle. We have 39,000. And now I shouldn't have to watch this like a hawk because this will do what it's supposed to do. There we go. All right. Everything will now happen on its own with these two stations. I don't have to watch them anymore. So now it's about upgrading these so that I can get even more of them running back and forth. And to do that, I'm going to upgrade this track here. C, 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 C. All right. Your max speed on this now is 80 kilometers per hour, which means for your schedule, Braddock Road, for your schedule, I can edit it and I can retune your arrival so that you have to travel a little bit faster, but you can get there quicker and I can put now more trains on this network if I want to. So I want all trains to be configured to 52 kilometers an hour now, and you'll be able to arrive faster. I would love to get you down to 104, would be even better, but I need to upgrade the tracks all the way to do that. So 53 is what we're going to end up having on that route right there. Then I can go through the same process with these other trains and just retime them so that they travel 52 instead. And again, that just, it tweaks it. So see the space between this one and this one? It's smaller than the space between this one and this one. And that's what I'm trying to do. Fit more trains on this cycling route, this really easy cycling route. So just retime the arrivals on that one. And we'll do the same thing for basically all of these schedules. Just retime all of them. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now Braddock Road, we can actually, I'm going to do a little bit more tweaking here. We're going to take this arrival time over here and scoot it back. There we go. And I think we're going to take let's take this one. We're going to scoot it up. And what I'm hoping to do is get the arrivals. I'm hoping to get all the trains to move in sync. All right, if you can make all the trains move in sync, it's perfect. And that's what I want to have happen. So we have these two trains over here that are not synchronized. So first thing I'll do is come over here and let's bring it in like that. All right, perfect. Now everything is synchronized on this track. And we don't want to go to DuPont, so let's get rid of that contract. And we can let that sit there for a bit. All right, we want to manage other trains if we can. Pay attention to other tracks if we can. There's another contract right there. Perfect, that's what I want. And we'll go in for this one, again, retime it. Whoa, nope. You're already doing it because of the track being faster. Okay, cool. In that case, we're going to shift your arrival to just be right here. So we line up with that other one right like that. Whoops, didn't actually hit go. I need to hit go. So shift this over right underneath there. Yep. And accept that one as well. All right, cool. I'm going to let this run. I'm going to pay attention to this, and I'm going to keep expanding this. And when we get routing sensors, that's when some magic is about to happen, all right? I'll be right back. All right, I just unlocked tier 3. So that was it. That was all it takes, man, sometimes. So we can go in here, and we now have access to the routing sensor. We're going to buy that immediately. All right, we don't need unlimited stations. Our map is actually so small that we unlocked all available stations to us in the second tier. So we don't need any more. So actually, this is useless to me. It doesn't matter. I could go get corridor tracks. That'd be nice. I could also get faster switches. So basically what happens is all your trains, when they go over top of switches, they automatically are slowed down to about 80 kilometers an hour. So if you have a lot of switches through here and you have tier 3 tracks, your trains are actually slowing down through the switches. Faster switches allows for trains to travel 120 kilometers an hour over the switches, which is kind of nice. It's not going to help you with corridor tracks, which are very fast tracks. But if these corridor tracks have switches on them, of course, the train is still going to slow down to 120 going over them. So if you're using corridor tracks, you want to use this on really long stretches. I think using them on these little sections right here would be probably a pretty good idea because there's no intersections there. There's no switches there, right? That's the best time to use them. Okay. First thing I want to remake is this area right here. So we're going to pause it. Oh, we're going to pause it right here. Okay. Now, I am going to have to tell this train how to get to Anacostia because I deactivated the departure sensor. But here's what I want to do. before it's 10:55. So we're about to get hit with our maintenance and stuff, and I want to do this before that happens. So we're going to delete this. All of this. We're just going to get rid of all of it. All this. I want to remake this whole thing. I want to remake all of this. Oh, I'm going crazy. I'm getting rid of all this nonsense. And we are going to remake all of this stuff. And it is going to take a very long time to do. But you don't have to sit through the entire process, okay? What you're going to see is the general idea. Oh, I can't delete this because that stupid train is on it. Well, we'll do everything except that. What you're going to see is the basic idea of what I'm going for this. And then I'm going to redo it all, and then I'll bring you back in because I think that saves a lot of time for you guys. All right, we have a 290,000. I'm going to start by laying just the tier 1 tracks everywhere, and then I'll strategically upgrade them as we go, okay? What I'm hoping to have, these 2 tracks are departure tracks. These 2 tracks are arrival tracks. Hey, I'm not changing anything. It's going to work, right? That's great. All right, but here's the cool thing. I think, anyway, this is the cool thing. We're going to take this, and it's going to come through here, all right? Then what it's going to do is we're going to have it come all the way over into... Well, I think like all of these are kind of arrivals and depart. This one's arrival and turn around. This one's arrival and turn around. This is arrival, but also from both directions, and same thing with this one. So we're just going to go like this on that one, and then also out like this, over and over and over and over like that. Okay, and then you're going to go out, 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 out like that. Let's not do it that way. Let's go like this instead. Yeah, like this instead. Okay. This is kind of what I'm thinking right here. This track is going to go through as a tunnel. Okay, we're going to do a tunnel here instead. So from here, we're going to take the tunnel and we're going to stretch it down and we're going to bring it down. It's going to be expensive though. I got to figure out how to do this without... Let's do the tunnel last so I know where all the other tracks are for initially. And I really do need this guy to get out of my damn way. So I might need to let the time go just a little bit. That might cause some complications with this dude getting in, but it's okay. I'm just going to draw this track over and go like that. So here's what's really cool about the arrival sensor. Or sorry, the arrival sensor. The routing sensor. It's a $25,000 sensor. But it routes to stations instead, okay? And I think I need to actually make a couple more tracks here. So this track needs to come down and goes that way. Yep. And then we're going to need another one that comes down and goes that way. But then also it needs to come that way. Yeah. We're going to write this a little bit differently, but it's going to be like this for now. And then once I start getting this, once I get this train out of the way, then I can do more. Because right now, like I'm limited by I can't get rid of this stuff right now. And I need to get rid of this stuff. You know what? Let's just run it. Let's just run it. There, done. Okay. I think that's acceptable. I didn't want to have anyone to wait, but that's acceptable. Okay. Let's get rid of this track, this track, this track, this track, this track. No. You jerk. All right, good. Good enough. Good enough to do what I want. Okay. This track right here. Let's get rid of this. We're going to come out this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Okay. And then you're going to go out like that to use the maximum amount of space we can use. Is probably preferred. We deleted the entire damn track, didn't we? Yeah, sure did. All right. We want to use as much track as we're allowed to use. So there we go. We're using all that track right there. And then we can have that go like this and then over. It's going to look so much more organized, I swear. All right. We also have this one. It's going to go this way and then over this way. And then I want this one. Stop. I also want this one to go that way too. Okay. Now this can be where my tunnel comes out. But I also need this one to come around and through. Yep. And with this now out of the way, I can delete that track. Okay. So we're going to use the routing sensor over here to determine where the train should go. And it's going to direct it to basically an arrival sensor that will determine which platform it goes to. So the arrival sensor first, or sorry, the routing sensor first, then that sends it to arrival sensors, which then determine which platform. Okay. Let's get rid of this for a second so I can just focus on this route for a bit. Let's see, the train comes through this way. Let's get rid of this again really quick. Sorry. We're gonna have you. We're gonna bring you down really quick. That way you can hit the other sensor first. You're gonna hit this sensor first, and that's after this. That's a routing sensor. Okay. And then, in order to have the routing sensor actually working, I do need to have this in. I need to have it there. So never mind. All right. So we're gonna have you affect this signal. You're gonna go to this one if the station is East Market. You're gonna go to. It needs to be an arrival sensor. It needs to be an arrival sensor. So we'll go to an arrival sensor over here. Let's have the track do probably like this would be fine, but I need the sensor to work. Yeah, so the sensor has to be here. So this is gonna go like this, and then the arrival sensor kicks in like that. You determine this station have access to those two. That's fair. I like it. Because there's no reason for you to ever hit here. This is a track that's going the other direction. Perfect. So now when going, you're going to go to this signal to go to Benning. All right, perfect. Now, how to go to Anacostia. All right, so Anacostia, we're going to want you on this track. So we're going to take this one and bring it down like that. All right, and then we're going to have you on this one right here. Yes, right here with an arrival sensor that determines which platform you go on, right? And these are all the ones you arrive on. This one's this is an origin track, so only things that originate in Anacostia will start here. Everything else comes in Anacostia and leaves from these two platforms. And so we will want first off, we need a way for these trains to also get out. So we're gonna have to do that anyway. We need this one to be over here. And then I need this to be associated here. And then I need this routing sensor to now say here for Anacostia. So what have I done here? Like what's actually been replaced here? What's replaced here is we don't need individual relay sensors for all these different signals anymore, right? We just need a one sensor that says take the track and go this way. The other sensors will then, relay for arrivals on different platforms if necessary. If not necessary, then they'll just go in here, right? There is one catch to this though. For East Market, having trains coming from here to there, I'm gonna have to just not do that. And if I just don't do that, then I won't even need this to begin with. So I probably will look through my routes in Riverdale, and if there's nothing that's going from here to here, then I'll just delete this track anyway, right? We can have that happen. But here's what I want to happen for East Market to Anacostia, because that's what this train's doing. This train is going to go, I think what we'll do is we'll have you, I need enough room for that sensor. So this is where the routing sensor will be here again. So we're gonna have a sensor there and then a routing sensor there with a signal that goes here. And then what you'll do is you'll tell the train to either take this way to go to Benning. All right, so you're going to go this way for Benning. Done. Okay. But you're going to take this route to go to Anacostia. And that is going to look like this with a tunnel. Goes underneath the tunnel and it pops out right here. That's what I'm hoping to do. I might need to pop it out here though. Or I can go, let's pop it out here. So there's a tunnel, takes everything underneath and then brings it back to that side. And then if we want to take the tunnel back, which we should, right? We don't want to come through this whole madness to go back. So we'll have to have a departure signal. We're going to have a routing sensor over here too then, won't we? Sure will. In that case, we're going to want to go like this instead. Let's get rid of this one. And then we'll have the routing sensor be placed there, along with a signal like that. And then we'll have all these different routes taking it. So this one here can go, I need to go into the tunnel. So this tunnel is too long. Let's get rid of the tunnel really quick. Tunnel's too long. It needs to be stationed here like that. And then have this come in. Oh, you have to, oh, I see how that is. Oh, wow. So I can't even go at an angle. I thought I would be able to turn from there, but you have to come straight out of the tunnel. The track must be straight coming out of the tunnel, at least from the tunnel's perspective. So it needs to be, the tunnel would have to turn here. Unless it goes, ooh, now that's interesting. What if, just spitballing here, what if, no, I can't do that because this track is occupied. Yeah, it has to be from here. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Maybe not. Maybe not. All right. Maybe, just maybe, we could have this track be a little different. You know? We could do it more like this. I want to move it over one tile, basically, so that it comes in like that. And that way I can come off that side. That's what I'm hoping to do. So from here we go like that. And then from here, we can go up. This is what I'm hoping to do. So, yeah. That's what I needed to do. You go there. You go there, actually. And then you can go there. And then this now goes there. So when you activate to go to East Market, what you're actually activating is to go this way. And then we can put a relay sensor there. That's fine. And then this relay will go that way. But now this arrival, this routing sensor will go to this one instead. Now, if the train goes to East Market, it'll stop here and not get in the way of anything that's leaving. I like that. Okay. So I think we figured this out. So now this one is going to go down with the tunnel. Nope, that's not a tunnel. That is a sensor. Hi, tunnel, please. Down and out there. That's what I'm looking for. And now this track goes like this and like that. Outstanding. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. And we could even take this one step further and go like that. And then that way, you know, we have extra little tiny segments of track so that as the train's moving through, it's not interfering with other trains. I can move this over now one. Okay. If that's the case, now what we have, you are going to send people to this for Benning and also for Anacostia and also any other destination, honestly. But right now it's Benning and Anacostia. You can't go to Riverdale directly, but we could do that too if we wanted to. If I wanted to have routes that do that, by just having it deviate here, I would be able to have this kind of merge into there. And now you take that path and you're right in there, right? You're ready to rock and roll. If I didn't want this to be disruptive to trains coming through here, well, too bad. It has to. But that gives me those options, right? It gives me those options to do that. So now I could go, I could even go one more. No, I think it's fine the way it is. Yeah, and then there needs to be a sensor on this side to determine which platform to go in here. So we need to take this away and just do that. Yeah, and then this signal goes here with an arrival sensor. Yeah, like this, that goes like this, that determines which platform you're going to take. So we'll just have this be a relay sensor. You go there. You go here. Yep. And then you go here for East Market. You've got this one already taking you to Benning. And now I want you to take this one, yep, to Anacostia. Okay, everything is fine there. Yep. And then you are going here for Benning and Anacostia and Riverdale. I mean, yeah, you just use both for Riverdale too. You'll take this to Riverdale too, because this sensor is going to determine the track. It is going to reserve the track as you go. So now what we'll do is we'll just put this signal right here with a relay sensor there. I mean, it's kind of getting cramped now, isn't it? But these trains, right, they're only 2 squares wide, the trains. So like they're only this long from here to here. And so like this is more than enough. It's diagonal. It should be enough to clear that signal and allow things to keep going through there. I'm gonna have to look at configuring that, but you get how I'm doing it, right? Hopefully this is making sense. The whole video is gonna be me remaking this unless I just cut you ahead to the solution. So here we go. Okay, I think I figured out why Washington is considered like the 5-star, 5-engine hard. In addition to needing to get, you know, your quota for unlocking technologies or, you know, experience points with fewer stations. In addition to that, though, it is actually quite difficult to maneuver the rails with such limited space. So a bigger map that has more flexibility, like it costs you more to lay the rail, but you have more options, you have more flexibility, and I definitely think that makes it easier. But here's what I've got so far. I don't know if this is its final form, okay? Because what I really wanted to have was this train here to Columbia. I wanted that going through a tunnel, and I wasn't able to get it. There's not enough space here to actually make that happen. And so if I was going to try it, right, I would want it to come off of this road here, and it needs to go this direction. So basically the tunnel's got to start here. And yes, I could deviate the rail at this spot, but as soon as I do that, I lose the ability to have trains coming through here at the same time they're leaving. And that fluidity of movement is really necessary. Also, for some reason, you are not going to Anacostia. Oh, hey, I just uncovered something I missed. I haven't had a train trying to go to Anacostia yet, but that is definitely not possible. So let's get you tweaked a little bit here. So you are going to go like that little train track right there. And we're going to say that's upgraded, and that's upgraded, and that's upgraded. All right, so now you need to go there. And then what I also need to do for you is to make sure that you are told to go there. Okay, so here's how it's laid out. Every train that comes out of these stations, with the exception of Benning, there's just too much going on in Benning. So the stations are going to manage that, arrival sensors, all that stuff, right? This is trying to go to DuPont. What? You're supposed to be at Benning. East Market, Benning 3, DuPont 3. Why are you in Benning 1? You should have been able to go into 3, but I don't understand why you didn't go to 3. Like, it's possible to do that. You go here. Oh, okay. So this is the weakness of the arrival sensor, the routing sensor being here, right? That's the weakness of the arrival sensor being here, is because you can only go on this route. This is just an invalid route. I have to get rid of this route. Yeah, that's basically what it is. I have to get rid of this route. So tell you what, we're going to go to DuPont manually this time. All right, we're going to send you to DuPont this time, but well, what we could do actually is just let it here's what I'll do instead, because the timing actually flows to be with 1, so we could bring it into 1 and just make it later. So maybe I bring the arrival back here like this. That could work. And then we tweak this so that we have that. Okay. And then you just take there to go to DuPont. And now the station can handle that. Oops. Yeah, now the station can handle that. So that route is actually not that bad. It was just a little confusing there. So the Columbia train, or sorry, the Anacostia train is going to go in the tunnel. And actually, I think I want the Columbia train to do the same because it can. The problem is that there's not enough room for me to put the sensors here to route it again. So we basically have to have this whole track reserved and then comes down this way, which is, it's doable. It's just not advised to like tie up the entire track, but we are doing that, I guess. Also, this is the track I would like for them to come down on. So like it has to be here, actually. Yeah. And then this one would be a track that takes them to the tunnel, or they can take it and go up into these stations. So I actually need one more train track that does that as well. And then, oh, finally here would come down and go like that. All right, so we have some work to do here. I've only done this one section because it's very expensive. It's actually more expensive to set the track up like this. I know it doesn't seem like it's very different. External sources, you're looking at this before and after. It doesn't look like it's all that different, but it's actually significantly more fluid and sophisticated because of the routing sensors being able to say, open up the track to go this direction, and then the arrival sensor after that just dictating which track you go to. All of that stuff is actually really nice to have. And the only downside is that the routing sensors are $25,000 each, which, to put that in perspective, all of this costs less than $25,000. The track, not the signals. The signals are pretty expensive, but like all the track I've laid right here is all less than $25,000. So the routing sensors are pretty expensive, basically is what I'm saying. But we're going to pay for that by getting routes down here set up. And I am just basically deleting all these contracts until they, you know, sort out exactly what they want to do over here. Also, I think I can get more contracts. Yep, even more contract offers. Way more contract offers. Faster switches. And I'm not going to do corridor tracks right now, but structural contracts seem interesting. Unlocks automatic contract manager. Unlocks structural settings section in the automated contracts manager. It allows you to configure which types of trains you want to receive contracts for. Other contracts are then rejected automatically. There's also financial contracts manager, which allows you to set a minimum reward for contracts that you want to receive. So if contracts don't meet the minimum, they're automatically rejected. And then there's a regional contracts manager, which allows you to set mandatory stations for these. And if it does that, that way the contracts that show up in those particular areas will only be able to get accepted if they include the conditions that they have that station included. So there's a lot of contracts that'll be offered, for example, where it's like, okay, yeah, you're going through Columbia, you're going through Roslyn. What if I want a contract that takes them to DuPont, right? That doesn't happen. It doesn't here. But if I had one here and I said only contracts that go to DuPont, all of these that would actually show up and be selectable, the only ones that I'd be able to see here would be ones that go to DuPont. Basically, if that makes sense. It should. Okay, so again, I set this whole thing up. It cost a lot of money to do. But it's a little faster. That's a lot faster. It's more sophisticated. A lot more trains can move through it at one time. They're not getting in each other's way this time. You know, any train that wants to go through this direction or go through that direction, they can all do so without getting in each other's way. And that's a really great thing. So this part's operating much smoother now because of those sensors. It takes me about 20 minutes-ish, 19 minutes-ish to break even and get back to positive territory. So as long as I'm not building, I'm going to accumulate money pretty quickly. And then I'm just going to keep doing this until they're really rock solid here. And then I'll start working on expanding out this way so I can get contracts moving that way. Because we have more contracts now, though, it's going to become probably a better idea to get these to be a little bit easier to see. So I'm going to kind of put them up like this, so they're just out of the way. And so the contract offers are easier to spot when next to each other. So we'll go a lot like that. All right. I think that's going to be a little bit better. So now like I get stuff like this. Instead of it being over top of my tracks, I can just kind of scroll through it like this. I like that. So there's a lot of different contracts I could get. Oh, this is another one that I didn't do. There it goes to there. Off you go. Bye. Now, what are you doing? Riverdale 4. Why aren't you going? That's weird. You should have went. What happened there? What happened there? Why did you delay? Can you not get to Riverdale? Totally can. Oh, it's not. That's not selected for 4. Wild. Okay. There you go. You can do it now. I thought for sure I had that set up, but it is what it is. All right, look at all these contracts rolling in, huh? And I just need to select the ones that I want. This one's not giving me anything, but it is what it is. All right, so anyway, I hope that makes sense. If it didn't, I apologize. I'm going to blame it on being 3 a.m. I'm going to try not to play complicated games at 3 a.m. anymore. But if I don't do this, like, I just don't have videos for you guys. And there's a lot of games I want to cover right now. You're probably seeing a variety of games coming to the channel right now. And it's just because I have so many things I want to do. And I'm just tired of using tired as an excuse for not having it done. Okay. I want to work more, and I can't do that unless my daughter goes to more days at daycare. So if you want to help me do that, it's so poor form to ask in the video, but if you want to do that, join my Patreon, link in the description, become a member on YouTube. 100% of all my Patreon money and my membership money, 100% of that goes to daycare. It goes to having my daughter be watched by somebody else so that I can get done with stuff. I can get stuff done. That's the only thing that does. You know, this could easily... I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I think we could do something with this. Can I move this? No, I can't move that. I just want to get this track to go to this one. Can I do that? Can we make... I can't do that. The angles are too extreme. Right, the sensors, the room that's there, it just won't work. It's lame, I say. Very lame. I might have to get rid of this track right here, that train. But I don't think that train works really well for it. What are you waiting for? Go to East Market with this one. Yeah, so how this works, right, is these sensors govern everything, right? So if I wanted to go to Riverdale, for example, or like this one here, if I'm like, okay, for all destinations, go to this signal. And then that signal will handle everything for you, right? That signal handles the routing for you. That's how that all works out. But again, to go to Columbia and to go to Anacostia, especially just Columbia. Anacosta's not that bad, but it's still the same thing. It's going across this. I wanted tunnels to do that, and I just wasn't able to do it. So I'm going to keep tweaking this when I get a little cash. I'm up to 76 grand right now, and that means that once I have the maintenance cycle, I won't be in debt. That's a really good sign. Need to get you... I need to do something different with these routes. Maybe just cancel them entirely. Like, have no regional trains coming into DuPont anymore. But I think with routing sensors through here, I might be able to make it to where the regional trains take a different path and they don't hit the sensor, and then they'll execute shunting commands. And then what I could do with the shunting commands is I could tell it to go down this track and then back up into this track and then stop here. And that way it turns around, you know, so it'll end up going backwards, 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 and then forwards into here and then backwards. And then that way it backs into the station. You know, and then that way when it leaves to go to its next destination, it'll be forward again. I don't know. Like, it spends all of its time going backwards in the in-between, right? Forwards on this route, and then on the in-between its routes, it's going backwards this whole time until it arrives, and then it takes its route and goes forward, right? Like, I could try that and see if that would work, because I think it technically could work. If I maybe spaced this stuff out a little different down here, I could make it do that. I don't like how it's doing it across all these tracks, though. I would say, hey, maybe a tunnel is the answer. Maybe. Maybe we can get a tunnel to do the shunting stuff. I don't know. There's not a lot of room here, so I don't know about that one. But it's something to investigate later, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to investigate it later. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you. I hope you guys will like the video anyway, even though I'm a total mess. Take care. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.